In today's video, we're discussing how you can create your very own mecha, manga, comic, or light novel. So first of all, what is mecha? Mecha is a genre popularized by anime and manga. It focuses on giant humanoid robots, typically piloted by the main characters in the story. Mecha usually also focuses on topics of technological advancement and the humanity behind these changes. So basically it focuses on the human behind those sci-fi aspects. So first of all, you want to ensure that the mech has a purpose. When adding mech to the story, ensure that it actually has a purpose in being in the story. Avoid adding mech for no reason. The characters should have a reason to pilot the mech or interact with it, and this purpose and the importance of them piloting the mech should increase throughout the story. You also want to make piloting the mech part of the character's journey. Characters should have a reason to pilot the mech throughout the story. The mech is there to assist the characters in reaching the final story goal and should therefore be presented in various ways throughout the book. So when you're creating a story, usually your characters will have a main story goal that those characters are working towards. In mecha series, it's important that characters piloting the mech, or at least working with the mech in some way, is related to the story goal. They need to pilot or work with the mech in order to fulfill the main points of the story. You also want to give the main character a limitation. Typically in mecha series, the main character will have some kind of limitation, and in most cases, the limitation will prevent them from being able to operate or pilot the mecha. In most mecha series you may see, you will notice that there's usually some reason why the character is unable to pilot the mech, but usually they will overcome these limitations throughout the story to be able to pilot and work with the mech. You also want to integrate mecha into the world building. Mecha is typically included in science fiction, and usually in mecha stories, it's usually a world with various political or scientific struggles. Usually, with the continuous technological advancement in mecha series, usually this leads to a lot of different struggles in the stories. Usually the stories with mecha not only focus on the characters piloting machines, but it also focuses on the social aspect and the social challenges behind it. To make your world feel more immersive, consider the political struggles within this world and how it may relate to the characters piloting the mech. You also want to understand the purpose of the mecha parts. So this tip is more specifically for artists who are drawing the mech, but when drawing the mech, create a basic understanding of what each part is for. Even in a made-up futuristic world, the mecha mechanics should still have some kind of purpose. So when you're drawing it, think about what each part is used for and why you are adding it to this character's mech design. Avoid including random parts for no reason. So try to avoid adding a part to a mecha that you add just because it might look cool. It can look cool, of course, but also make sure that it's cool and with a purpose. Try to ensure that the mechanical side of the mech makes sense. You also want to develop character progression. It is unlikely that your character will be able to pilot the mech perfectly at the start. Instead, you should show how your character learns along the way. Create various stages throughout your story where your character learns a new skill and then applies it in the story. So throughout the story, you should have an obstacle, a chance for your character to train and learn, and then the result of that training. Giving them various tasks and smaller missions to achieve can help you to show that character progression and character development along the way. You also want to show the consequences of failure. Piloting mech may be very dangerous at times, and it's important to show the consequences of failure in your story. What happens if there is an error in the machinery, or if there is a challenging situation that goes beyond your character's capabilities in piloting the mech? There may even be other situations that your character is not properly trained or equipped to handle. So you need to show the struggles that your character faces when piloting and working with the mech, and this can make your world feel a lot more realistic in your story. It can also be a good opportunity to show character development as your character works to overcome these challenges. You also want to reveal the hidden secrets. In mecha anime and manga, usually there will be a hidden secret that is not revealed to the characters until later on in the story. This secret usually involves the truth behind the mech that they have been piloting, but sometimes it's also a much more dire truth about the sci-fi world they're living in. In most cases, usually when these characters are living in this futuristic sci-fi world and piloting the mech, there's usually some darker secret behind the truth of this world that the characters are unaware of. Usually part of the story and part of them learning more about the mech and their own abilities is also discovering the truth behind the scientific world that they are living in. Overall, at the heart of Mecha series is your characters. You want to ensure that despite your characters piloting machines and working with robots, you need to still have a very human focus behind your story. Focus on what it means for these characters to be piloting and learning how to work with the mech in your story, and by blending this combination of futuristic and sci-fi elements with the human minds behind the characters, you can create a sci-fi mech series that feels both believable and connects well with your audience. Thank you so much for watching my video today, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what kind of mecha series you're creating, because I would love to hear about it, and I'm sure others would love to hear about it too. Visit my website, midnightcross.com, for workbooks, templates, and free resources that can help you to level up your story. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!